I wondered if you might make it here. You're quite resourceful. I am known as Father. The Institute is under my guidance. I know why you're here.
It's stuck.
I'd like to discuss things with you face to face. Please, step into the elevator. I can only imagine what you've heard, what you think of us. I'd like to show you that you may have the wrong impression. Welcome to the Institute. This is the reality of the Institute. This place, these people, the work we do. For over 100 years, we've dedicated ourselves to humanity's survival. Decades of research, countless experiments and trials, a shared vision of how science can help shape the future. It has never been easy, and our actions are often misinterpreted by those above ground. Someday, perhaps, we can show them what we've accomplished. But for now, we must remain underground. There's too much at stake here to risk it all. As you've seen, things above are unstable. I'd like to talk to you about what we can do for everyone. But that can wait. You are here for a specific, very personal reason. You are here for your son.
Sean?
Huh? Yes, I'm Sean.
God damn them. So many years stolen.
Who are you?
These bad people, they stole you from me.
Father, what's going on? What's happening?
Those bastards. They killed your father.
What's going on? Father? Father!
Sean!
I don't know you. Go away. Father! Father, help me! There's someone here, help me!
Damn it. Sean, open the door.
Father? Father, help me! She's trying to take me! Father? Father, help me!
Sean. S923, recall code Cirrus. Fascinating, but disappointing. The child's responses were not at all what I anticipated. He's a prototype, you understand. We're only just now beginning to explore the effects of extreme emotional stimuli. Please try and keep an open mind. I recognize that you are emotional, and that your journey here has been fraught with challenges. Let's start anew. I am Father. Welcome to the Institute.
I could kill you. Right here. Right now.
Yes. Yes, you could. And I would be powerless to stop you.
I want answers, asshole. Now!
Under the circumstances, I will forgive, but I need you to realize that this situation is far more complicated than you could have imagined. You have traveled very far, and suffered a great deal to find your son. Well, your tenacity and dedication have been... It's good to finally meet you, after all this time. It's me. I am Sean. I am your son.
Bullshit!
Is it? After all the things you've seen and experienced in the Commonwealth? Think about it. In the vault, you had no concept of the passage of time. You were released from your pod and went searching for the son you'd lost. But then you learned that your son was no longer an infant, but a 10-year-old boy. You believed that 10 years had passed. Is it really so hard to accept that it was not 10, but 60 years? That is the reality, and here I am, raised by the Institute, and now its leader.
They stole you, kidnapped you. It wasn't right.
Right, wrong, irrelevant. It was necessary. The Institute believed humanity's future depended on it. At that time, the year 2227, the Institute had made great strides in synth production. But it was never enough. Scientific curiosity and the goal of perfection drove them ever onward. What they wanted was the perfect machine. So they followed the best example thus far. The human being, walking, talking, fully articulate, capable of anything.
Human synths? Really?
Human-like synths. A great distinction. The Institute endeavored to create synthetic organics. The most logical starting point, of course, was human DNA. Plenty of that was available, of course, but it had all become corrupted. In this wasteland, radiation affected everyone. Even in their attempts to shield themselves from the world above, members of the Institute had been exposed. Another source, but then the Institute found me after discovering records from Vault 111. An infant, frozen in time, protected from the radiation-induced mutations that had crept into every other human cell in the Commonwealth. I was exactly what they needed. And so it was my DNA that became the basis of the synthetic organics used to create every human-like synth you see today. I am their father. Through science, we are family. The synths, me, and you.
"60 years.
I know. I know you must have questions. Please. Anything I can do to help you.
Kellogg. He worked for you?
Kellogg. He was an Institute asset long before I arrived here. It wasn't until I became director that I learned of all the things he'd done. What kind of man he was.
You knew the man was a psychopath, but you used him anyway?
Would you have preferred that I turned him loose on the Commonwealth? At least keeping him on a short leash kept the collateral damage to a minimum. The Institute took advantage of Kellogg's vicious nature. I will freely admit that. Institute technology prolonged his life, and his usefulness far beyond any normal human lifespan. He never failed the Institute, but his cruelty became more apparent with every completed objective. I won't lie. It's no coincidence your path crossed his. It seemed a fitting way to allow you, us, to have some amount of revenge. What else can I say to ease your mind?
Your father.
Yes. What happened to him was... I've gone over the records of the incident, of course. It seems what happened to him was an unfortunate bit of collateral damage. For many years, I never questioned who my parents were. I accepted my situation, and that was that. With old age comes regret. And asking what if, more, but... What matters now is that you and I have a chance to begin again. What else can I...
So, you're in charge of the Institute?
I am the acting director, yes. I spent decades working to reach this point. It's a responsibility I take very seriously. The Institute. It's important. It really is humanity's best hope for the future, no matter what those above ground might think of us.
They're scared of you, Sean. Scared of the Institute.
People are always frightened by what they don't understand. Ultimately, the Commonwealth has nothing to fear from us. Whatever you've seen or heard, I know I can convince you of that. I know there's more for us to discuss. But the Institute is on the verge of some important breakthroughs. Your presence would be appreciated as we approach them. I've been a part of something amazing here. I've helped to build a life for myself and the people of the Institute. And now, after all these years, you have an opportunity to help with that. Doesn't that intrigue you? Isn't that what you want?
You want me to stay here in the Institute?
Yes, that is what I propose.
What?
The Institute can provide a better life than anything above ground. You've been in the Commonwealth. You've seen what it's like. I assure you that you are better off with us.
How can you say that? How can you be so dismissive of all those people? Everything they've done?
Because it is the simple truth. And I believe you know it too. I simply ask that you give the Institute, me, a chance. A chance to show you what I've been telling. We really do have humanity's best interest at heart. Will you take?
Really? Are you sure you want?
Yes, I am. It would benefit us both to work together. The Institute is now your home, as much as it is mine. Please take some time, get to know it. Meet the people you'll be working with. You'll want to introduce yourself to the division heads. Dr. Fillmore in Facilities, Dr. Ao in SRB, Dr. Holdren in Bioscience, and finally Dr. Lee in Advanced Systems. They've all been notified of your arrival, of course?
Sean, about this synth.
You mean the child? It's a fascinating project, really. There are issues to be solved, of course, but we've made remarkable progress.
Why build it to look like you?
We'd advanced the technology behind synths to a point where this struck me as an interesting... a new angle, if you will. Modeling it after myself seemed only natural, what, with the Institute's records on my genetics and physiology. I'll make sure it's brought back online in the near future. You'll have an opportunity to interact with him further. But I'll admit I'm curious. As a parent looking for a child, looking for the younger version of me, what do you think? Do you think you could love him? Like you would a real boy?
It's not you. It's not even human.
No, perhaps not. But in many ways, he matches what you've been searching for all this... I wouldn't claim to know everything you're feeling, but if in some small way the boy's presence can help.
Got it.
clean floor. Are your visual receptors malfunctioning? Can you not see the grime and dust? Don't make excuses. You're clearly defective, and I intend to report this. Perhaps after you've been disassembled, we can use your components to make something that's actually useful.
Doctor?
You know what happens when people get robots to do all their work? They get fat and lazy, that's what. Real people doing real thinking and real work. That's the future I want.
People have no trouble getting fat and lazy.
A few, here and there, perhaps. But not on the scale I'm talking about. I can see you're having a joke at my expense. You're hardly the first. In any case, I suppose I should say, perhaps a fresh perspective will do some good around here.
Lawrence.
There's a lot of hubris around here lately, and I don't care for it.
Well, hello.
Quentin is such a liar. How would he know what the surface is like? He's never been up there.
Welcome to the Institute, ma'am.
As the Institute's first personal synth, I try to set a good example.
If all personal synths are as good looking as you, I should get one from...
Why, thank you. I'll take that as a compliment. I don't know that I can be of much help with that, but the compliment has certainly made my day. It was a real pleasure to meet you. I'm sure you're still taking everything in, so I'll let you get back to that. I've heard so much about you. What a remarkable story.
Hi there.
Whatever you think I didn't do it. Alice is a liar.
When are you going to tell me about this mysterious Phase 3?
You know I can't talk about that.
You're here. Glad you made it.
We're all looking forward to working with you.
She's been at it for over 2 hours. What is she even testing?
Nothing. At this point, she's just doing it for fun.
Yeah? Oh, for goodness sake, I can't find my notes anywhere. Huh?
Excuse me.
Yes? I hope you and Father try to make up the time you've lost. Family is important.
Well, that was productive.
Doc?
Oh, hi there. Sorry if I seem distracted. I memorized 5 sets of design schematics and now I'm doing detailed mental comparisons.
What kinds of...
Mostly components for a new plasma pistol concept I've been toying with. High-energy weapons are sort of a hobby of mine. Anyway, I'm glad you're here. I just wanted to say how much I admire Father, and that it's an honor to meet. I really hope...
Dr. Orman.
One day, I'll design a more efficient reactor to replace that old clunker in the basement.
Excuse me, Doctor.
Since you're new here, You should take time to learn our safety procedures, and the sooner the better. Rules create order, and order promotes efficiency.
Too many rules get in the way of efficiency. It's
Well, I've heard that before. I've also seen scientists get too cavalier with protocols and end up dead. It only takes one mistake, one lapse. I had some handbooks made up, but that was years ago. I'll see about getting one to you.
Sounds good.
Take care then.
This is day 8 of Trial 6. The last week has been very productive but exhausting. I think we'll need a break after this. Vinay has done some really marvelous work with the personality mesh. It's almost too good. The responses map almost identically to expectations, some of the most lifelike I've seen. Of course, it's not really Sean. None of his memories are in there. That, even now, would be a step too far. It's starting to have an effect on the team, I think. I know I've been caught up in the moment once or twice. Just a second or two, forgetting that he's not a real boy. Still, I think we'll need to consider restricting him to the lab only for the moment. I'm well aware that others are put off by his presence. If I were slightly more arrogant, I might consider that a sign of success.
Excuse me, Doctor?
Ah, it's you. You're here then. Yes, I know who you are. We all do. While I'm sure Father is very happy that you're here, I do hope it doesn't interrupt our work.
What is it you're working on?
Advanced systems, special projects. You've seen the boy, Synth, already. We've been hard at work on him for quite a while now. Oh, before I forget, let me see that Pip-Boy of yours. I've been told to install a Courser chip in it for you. Father's orders. You're to be given full access, with the ability to relay in and out of the Institute at will.
A Courser chip?
The same thing it does for our coursers. Creates a link to the relay that allows them, and now you, to get in and out at will. In case the significance is lost on you, you'll be the only one here with that kind of access. If nothing else, it should demonstrate the amount of trust Father has placed in you. Now, unless there's something else, I really do need to get back.
Is everything okay?
Yes, things are...
Right?
I'm sorry, I don't socialize much. I prefer to focus on my work.
Sure. Dr. Lee? I'd like a progress report on your division.
I'm sorry. I report to the director.
Dr. Lee? Tell me about the people in your division.
I'm not sure what there is to say. Dr. Watson is the Specialist Project's lead scientist. Dr. Ormond is one of the youngest scientists in the Institute, and she's something of a prodigy when it comes to physics.
Primary drive servo.
That's the third primary drive breakdown this month. As far as I'm concerned, the phase-out on these older models can't come soon enough.
Oh, I don't know. Most of them have lasted long past their projected lifespans. If you ask me, they were built pretty well.
I can't argue with that. Even so, I'm ready to see the full Gen 3 roll out.
There we go. All set. Unit, you can return to duty.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks again.
Of course.
Hey, Doc.
They weren't kidding. You really are here. Well, all right. I'm Allie Fillmore. You can think of me as the Institute. When Father told us about you, I could hardly believe it. You've been through so much, I think most people would have just given up. If you don't mind my asking, what was it that kept you going all that time?
I wanted to kill the son of a bitch who murdered my husband.
Kellogg always was a cold bastard. If you ask me, we're better off without him. Now, I'll give you a quick rundown of the Facilities Division, and then I'll answer any questions you might have afterward. As you might guess, we keep the Institute's mechanical and electrical systems running smoothly. We maintain and upgrade all of the systems that make it possible to live and work in a place like this. There's a lot of machinery behind these walls that recycles the air and water and provides power to the laboratories and quarters. The work we do might not be as exciting as some of the other departments, but it's at least as important. So, now that you're here and you've spoken to Father, does that mean you're on board?
I'm just looking around.
I see. Well, please do mind what you touch. Sensitive equipment here. If there's anything else you'd like to know about the Facilities Division,
Who built this place, originally? Has it been here long?
The construction of the Institute is the work of generations of scientists. The original survivors of the war, our progenitors, took refuge in the basement of the old Commonwealth Institute of Technology. Over time, their sons and daughters dug deeper into the earth and built increasingly sophisticated habitats and laboratories. It's a process that's still going on today. Even now, we're digging out tunnels for new facilities and infrastructure. Just think what this place will look like 100 years from now. I hope I'm there to see it.
Dr. Fillmore.
What's on your mind?
I'd like to know...
Of course. Dr. Lawrence Higgs is our mechanical engineer. He oversees the major life support and power distribution is Dr. Evan Watson's area of expertise, and Dr. Newton Oberly is in charge of food and he coordinates with bioscience to ensure that our meals are balanced for optimal nutrition. We also make use of a number of synth units for low priority maintenance and labor.
I'm through.
Power consumption to a minimum. Don't recharge unless your primary levels are below 2%. Also, if you haven't patched your navigation software, do so after this meeting. The last thing we need is more synths bumping into walls. All right, that's all for now. You can resume your duties.
Doc?
It's a real juggling act, trying to keep all the systems down here operating in the green. This place might look shiny and new, but there's a lot of old technology in these walls. I lose sleep worrying about when the next blackout's gonna hit.
How old are we talking?
Well, the reactor and a lot of the related systems, you know, cooling, monitoring, power distribution, that's all pre-war. Most of the superstructure down here was built later, when the people who survived. I guess each generation's been tinkering with the place. Adding labs, making upgrades. There's some stuff I need to check on.
It was probably just a glitch in the nervous system. The 5 motor control software needs an update.
If it were just a limb twitching, perhaps. But her eyes were moving as well. Involuntary twitching and rapid eye movements while sleeping can only mean one thing, Max. You just don't want to admit to yourself what it is.
If you're about to launch into one of your impassioned speeches about artificial sentience and machines with souls, don't bother. I've heard enough of them by now. Hell, I can write them down from memory.
But we can't just ignore the question. If a synth can dream, why can't it have a soul? And if a synth has a soul, then it is a living person by every standard I can imagine. Of course, it is far more comfortable to think of them as machines, so we can do what we want with them.
If you disapprove of the work we do here, Dr. Benet, you know where to find the teleporter.
Now, just a moment. I never said that. I'm simply trying to open everyone's eyes to new possibilities.
Well, it's an unwanted distraction. We're men of science, not philosophers. You do well to remember that.
Hi, Doc.
You've arrived at a momentous time. Our third-generation synths are a true breakthrough. The culmination of centuries of research. It's no exaggeration to say that they're superior in almost every way to human beings.
What makes them superior?
The list of improvements is exhaustive. I can talk for an hour and still not cover all of it. Imagine what you could accomplish if you could live without fear of hunger or disease. Imagine what you could create if you could spend every waking moment of your life as you saw fit. Like I said,
Max?
All our divisions are important, but I tend to think of robotics as the first among equals.
Excuse me, Doctor.
Ah, it's you. You're finally with us. I'd just like to apologize for any trouble our synths may have caused for you on your way here. They, of course, couldn't be told of your identity, and they have very specific protocols for protecting themselves and Institute interests, most of which I designed myself. Not to make problems for you, though. Will you be staying with us, then?
I'm thinking...
Well, I hope you do decide to stay. It would mean a great... If you require anything, especially as it pertains to synths, please...
Personnel only.
So Dr. Ayo thinks he can hide in his office, does he? Well, you can tell him that I intend to speak to Father about these unannounced security sweeps of yours. Ransacking my quarters in the middle of the night is totally unacceptable.
I'll pass along your message, Doctor.
See that you do.
Doctor?
Welcome. Welcome. It is so good to meet you. I truly hope you'll come to think of the Institute as your home.
I think it's a little too science fiction for my taste.
Of course, I understand. Nearly all of us were born here, but you come from a very different world. You should know that many of us consider it a great honor to have you here.
Dr. Oberly.
When the lights go down and the stars come out, I can just...
I'm seriously thinking of heading over to robotics to knock some heads together.
What now?
They're dragging their feet on the targeting package upgrades.
So much research.
Maybe I should take some courses with me.
Always be vigilant. We have many
Please
enemies.
don't. There's enough friction as it is between us and pretty much all the other departments.
Hey.
I swear I spend half my time smoothing the feathers that Justin ruffles. We need to be able to collaborate with the other divisions, and that's a lot harder when they're always angry at us.
What's Justin doing that's causing friction?
Oh, he's just pushy and demanding. He thinks his problem should be everyone's biggest concern. I have to admit, though, the other divisions have never taken our needs as seriously as they should. Guess they see us as a necessary evil or something. It's really not fair. Oh, just listen to me. It's the first chance we've had to get acquainted, and all I want to do is complain. In any case, it was good to meet you.
Alana.
I know it'll be a difficult adjustment for you, but try to remember that synths aren't people.
Father's work has been a real inspiration for me.
Sometimes you have to lean on the other departments to get what you need.
Doc?
So, here you are. Just an AO. In fact, I'll be upfront with you. We're going to be keeping a close eye on you for the near future. Despite your relation to Father, you're a bit of an unknown quantity. I'm sure you understand. There won't be any issue.
Oh? Why?
I'll be honest. The first outsider to be allowed access to the Institute in quite a long time, in fact. There's little precedent for this situation, so it's only natural to take extra precautions, It's nothing personal. Now, Father has asked that I provide you with a brief overview of the Synth Retention Bureau.
Yeah.
Our primary responsibility is the recovery of escaped synths that are hiding among the human population on the surface.
So basically, you're the secret police.
Secret police? If that's a pre-war reference, then I'm afraid it's lost on me. Our main instrument is the Courser, a third-generation synth assigned to operate on the surface. Coursers hunt down and reclaim synths that have escaped the Institute. They are highly self-sufficient, trained in combat, infiltration, and tracking. In a word, our Coursers are relentless. But I gather you know all this, since you've encountered one already. In fact, I'd very much like to know how you defeated it.
I hate to break it to you, but your Courser wasn't all that tough.
Then it's likely the unit was defective. It's rare, but faults can occur from time to time. I suppose I'll have to ask robotics to perform detailed diagnostics on the entire production run. As if we don't have enough problems. Now, unless you need something else, I'll get back to work.
You mentioned that Coursers undergo special training. Tell me.
The SRB constantly monitors our Gen 3 synth population, looking for specific traits. Those who show tenacity, fearlessness, and independence undergo a rigorous training regimen. We teach them armed and unarmed combat, investigative techniques, psychology, and mechanical skills. Those who pass a final evaluation become Coursers. The rest have their memories wiped and return to their former duties.
The Directorate should take the synth escapes more seriously.
Coursers on Hunter relentless. If you see one, stay up.
It's an honor to have you. Father is more than he is all.
Sweet. Nice. That's it. Yes.
Perimeter movement. Weapons hot.
Got it. Yes. Yes. I'm in.
This is Dr. Elliot reporting for the Bioscience Division. March 22-24. We just received another batch of subjects. But as my previous report stated, we're at an impasse here. More of the same won't help. The two most promising strains of FEV have been adapted to an ideal state, but we're still missing something. I am officially echoing the team's position. The most likely progress for our research on synthetic organics requires new avenues of exploration. Additional Commonwealth subjects will not help. It's the same problem across the board: exposure to too much radiation. We need someone new. There's a proposal we'll be putting forward. I am not entirely comfortable with it, but it seems the best course.
Personal record. Dr. Brian Virgil. This will likely be my last recording. My requests to shut down the FEV program have repeatedly been denied. We've learned nothing useful in the last 10 years. Why does Father insist on continuing it? If he won't see reason, then I have to take matters into my own hands. What we're doing, it's not right. It needs to stop. If anyone should find this after I'm gone. Know that I never wanted to hurt anyone. Anyone! Do you understand me? I'm gonna make sure the whole program is shut down. If not for good, then at least for years to come. After that, I know what I'm about to do will be seen as a betrayal. Treason, he'll probably call it. So, I'm leaving. I have a plan. And if it works, I'll be somewhere safe. Somewhere not even the coursers can find me. Everything that we've done. The lives we've taken. If there is a God, may he have mercy on us all.
Dr. Holdren's synth gorilla project is showing promising results.
Hi, Doc.
Welcome. So good to have you here. Dr. Clayton Holdren, head of the Bioscience Division. I can't wait for you to see the work we're doing. It's truly amazing.
Like what?
I was just about to explain that. As the name implies, the Bioscience Division specializes in fields of studies such as botany, genetics, and medicine. Our most important directive is to ensure the health and well-being of everyone in the Institute. To that end, we cultivate highly specialized breeds of flora for use in food and medicine. We've even started to explore the idea of synthetic animal life. You probably saw the gorillas. They're really just a pet project at this point, but the potential is exciting nonetheless.
The gorillas are synths too?
They are indeed. Judging by your reaction, we've done a good job making them seem lifelike. The initiative is still in its early stages, but the prospects are very... I'm sure I've taken up enough of your time as it is. But I have to ask, have you decided whether you'll join us?
I'm an outsider. Would there even be a place for me here?
Even if science isn't your passion, there are plenty of ways. Our projects sometimes require an agent who can work on the surface to observe and gather information. From what I've heard, you are both fearless and resourceful. I think you'd be ideal for that kind of role. In any case, I imagine you'll want to continue looking around. Or, if you prefer, I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
You mentioned...
In that case, you'll want to introduce...
Sure.
He's our top biologist. Dr. Volkert works in the infirmary. Just pay him a visit. You won't find better medical care anywhere.
Dr. Holdren?
Something I can do for you?
Is there anything I can do to help out?
There might be. Tell you what, you get settled in and check back with...
Really? Hey, Doc.
Yes, yes, I'm sure that whatever you have to say is very interesting, but now simply isn't a good time.
If you're busy, that's one thing. But I don't care for your tone.
My tone. There's no need to take offense. As you can clearly see, I'm deeply involved in some rather complicated... Now, how about I get back to those, and you get back to... whatever it is you're doing.
Those mental equations will get a lot tougher after I sock you in the jaw.
What? Now, just a moment. There's no need to get angry. If an apology will suffice to stem your anger, then I'll offer it. So nice talking to you. Goodbye.
Dr. Watson doesn't think I'm Institute material. I'm gonna prove him wrong.
We don't usually welcome outsiders. I hope you can appreciate your good fortune.
Allie.
Hi there. Something I can help you with?
It must be a challenge to meet the power demand.
Absolutely. We scratch and scrape for every precious ounce of voltage that we... Over the years, we've learned a few tricks that help supplement our power budget. When necessary, we can tap into select sources on the surface. We take only what we need.
Right.
Fortunately, Advanced Systems is always working on new solutions to generate more energy. It's a good thing, too, because the demand is always increasing. You don't even want to know what a single use of the molecular dematerializer consumes.
Dr. Ayo's been doing terrible.
Will there be any pain? I honestly don't know. I suppose that will. Now hold still. There. All done. You can return to your duties. And remember to record every symptom you experience in detail.
I hope I'll prove a useful test subject for you, Doctor.
Once you've settled in, I'll want to do a physical and get a file going on you. No hurry, though.
You're the doctor?
Everyone's a doctor here. But if you mean physician, then yes, I'm about as close as we... How about you take some time to get comfortable, learn the lay of the land. In the meantime, you come see me. We'll do that checkup when you take care of yourself.
Now that you've had a chance to see the Institute...
First things first. How do I get back to the surface?
The same way you got in. You are not a prisoner here. You may come and go as you please. Ultimately, all our knowledge and resources are focused on a single goal. The goal is best summarized by our motto: mankind. Unfortunately, no advancement comes without occasional setbacks. As remarkable as our synths are, they can be dangerous without proper supervision. The superior synth mind and body attempting to wrestle with something approaching free will can be a recipe for chaos.
What do you mean by proper
I mean that while they are here in the Institute, fulfilling the purpose for which they were designed, our synths perform admirably. As you're about to see, however, they can become unpredictable when set loose. A rogue synth has taken over the Raider gang at Libertalia. His memories have been erased, and his identity altered. He believes he's a man named Gabriel. Under his leadership, the Raiders have taken many innocent lives. I've dispatched a courser to Libertalia.
Who erased his memories? And why?
Those idealistic radicals who call themselves the Railroad are behind it. We'll deal with them in time. But right now, the priority is to reclaim that synth before more harm is done. Now you should get moving. Many people are in danger, and a delay...
Oh. Sean?
You should get going. There's no time to waste. Perhaps someday our synths can reclaim...
Remember to conserve power at every opportunity.
I'm meeting someone here.
Hey, it's me. So you're the one who sent the encrypted message. How did you even do that? I wasn't sure anyone on the surface would have a chance to crack Trinity. You know, the encryption algorithm.
A friend named Tinker Tom cracked your encryption.
He must have had some serious hardware to pull that off. Wow, your message was only one word. Friend. What did you mean by that?
The Railroad's in the business of helping synths too. That makes us friends.
What? The Railroad? As in the Railroad? I kept sending synths to the surface hoping someone would help them. I hoped the Railroad got to some of them, but I never knew for certain.
How did you help the synths escape?
Through hacking. The departments focus their best talents on hard science. Why waste time on terminal security, right? The SRB is the exception, and unfortunately, they control which synths go to the surface. But a forged work order from, let's say, bioscience can get a hand-picked synth on surface detail. And it turns out the Railroad was waiting for them. Wow.
Why are you helping?
At first, I just wanted to see if I could get away with it. It was a challenge, you know? But then I realized the synths are really just like us, except without any freedom. I decided to help the ones that wanted to escape, so they can have a better life.
You've saved a lot of...
So much to take in.
Right.
With you in the picture, I have this idea. To rescue a lot of synths. At once. But we'll need help. Where's he working now? Right. Let's go to the West Atrium. Probably best to talk about something else right now. You know my father thinks it's a living hell on the surface. But that can't be right. Heck, you look positively normal to me. No offense. I'm not sure if we could ever make the surface actually a decent place to live. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't at least try that, you know? Z-114, it's me.
Sir, do you require something?
It's okay, Z1. She's a friend. She's with the Railroad.
Meeting here is dangerous. And you bring a stranger. You. How do I know we can trust you?
Because the members of the Railroad have dedicated their lives to fight for your freedom.
I thought only Mr. Benet cared. But your friends actually fight.
That's what the Railroad does, Z1. She's from the surface.
I've never met another human willing to help. But, sir, we must make this quick.
Right now. How many synths want to escape, Z1?
The ones I know for certain? 13.
That'll take forever. Let's free those 13 all in one go.
I would do anything for my people. But how do we get them to the teleporter? It's no good. The old maintenance tunnels that lead there are always sealed. By the SRB.
If I can find a way to open those doors, could you get your synths to the teleporter room?
Yes. We'll talk later.
Liam.
Just a few high-security doors, right? Controlled by cutting-edge SRB security tech. Yeah. A head-on hack is the sucker play. So we go at them sideways. You're willing to help, right? I can't do this alone.
Of course.
Our core security architecture hasn't fundamentally changed from the old CIT days. The original security program was called Code Defender. Revolutionary stuff. We still have terminals running version 1, mothballed in storage. With some persuasion, I can get an old terminal to interface with the new security terminals. Enough to open doors, at least. Problem is, I can't even crack version 1. So I need a good old-fashioned username and a password. And that's nowhere to be found in the Institute. But if you could get me a pre-war admin password from the surface...
I'll find it for you.
That's great. Unfortunately, the obvious place to look won't work. The CIT ruins were picked clean years ago, but some of the admins had to live off campus. Ask your friends in the railroad. I need those login credentials.
Tom.
Dez has given me clearance to set up my atmospheric sensors. Finally, I can prove that the Institute is terraforming the Commonwealth. Eat that, Carrington.
Why would the Institute terraform the Commonwealth?
It goes back to the big war. Who set off the first A-bomb? The Institute did. They started the whole war to kill everyone except their own diabolical scientist.
But what's that have to do with terraforming?
Everything, man. You see, humanity didn't kick the bucket like they planned. We're still hanging on. So first step, artificial people come to infiltrate, spy, and salvage the metric tons of gizmos they need. And once they get all the parts they need, whammo! The big atmospheric converter inside Blake Tower starts spewing poison into the stratosphere to kill every last one of us.
Yeah, that's really great, Tom.
I told Dez I could count on you. So my sensor, I call her Mila, needs to be up high, real high. Dez forced me to put some cameras and, other chuck that stuff if you need to. Like
I'll take good care.
She's got a lot of sensitive components. I got the perfect spot picked out. Set Mila up and let the...
Desdemona.
Oh, thank God.
Hey, fix him. See, Dez, I told you the molecular stabilization matrix held.
Funny. You didn't sound certain yesterday. It is really, really good to see you. Did it work? Did you make it inside the Institute?
You thought...
I saw you disintegrate right before my eyes. Then the whole machine blew up. Tom insisted you dematerialized in time. But Tom's track record with experiments leaves something to be desired. I've never been happier to tell Tom I was wrong. It did work, right?
The signal interceptor worked. I've been to the Institute and back again.
I almost can't... In Tom's holotape, did you make contact with...
I met Patriot. His name is Liam Benet.
I knew you'd get the job done. We need every scrap of intel you picked up in there.
Right.
Write up a full report on Pam's terminal. After you're done, we'll analyze it and figure out the next step.
Sure.
Ah, good, you're here.
Leave that joke behind. You're just wasting space.
Pam.
Preliminary analysis complete.
Anything we need to move on?
Affirmative. Codename Patriot requires admin credentials for Code Defender security software. Cross-indexing CIT security administrators with 2077 Commonwealth Census records. Filtering by surviving structures. One match found. Bergman. Wilfred. Bergman. Wilfred. Registered as co-owner of Cambridge Polymer Labs. Estimated 81% chance of login credentials being located at this facility.
This lab better have what I'm...
Warning. All predictions...
After you get the password report back here. With any luck, well...
Doc Carrington's been asking for you.
Carrington.
Ah, good, you're here. There's been a development.
A raider gang has captured one of our agents, codenamed Blackbird. The twist is, we thought he was already killed. Desdemona clings to the far-fetched hope that A, Blackbird is alive, and B, he can tell us what happened to the synths held at Augusta when it fell. So she wants you to tackle this fool's errand.
Is it really a fool's errand?
If you chain too many assumptions together, you rarely get what you bargain for. I doubt we'll find more than a body. The dead drop has the full briefing. Raiders aren't known for keeping their captors alive. But, since you're...
Blackbird spotted. Badly injured. Way too many hostiles for the runner to engage. Request assistance from HQ.
You must be the courser I'm supposed to meet.
Yes, ma'am. Designation X. I've already...
All right, let's go.
Right behind you.
Sure.
Let's... Hold up a moment, ma'am. There's something important I need.
Right? What is it?
I'm going to give you B592's reset code. If he hears the code phrase, you'll need to say B592 initialize factory. Once he's shut down, I can
What? What do you mean by
Put more simply, the recall code will render him unconscious even while he's still standing. That's all, ma'am. Ready when you are.
Well done. Gear, I'm gonna guess you saw agents of the instinct.
Well, that was a fun little workout. Can we do it again?
Stealing plunder from honest, hard-working Commonwealth gangs. If you're not here to talk, then you're here to die. Kill these sons of... Well done. Very impressive. Just like me, made it to the top. You ain't scared yet.